2024 has been a crazy year for gaming monitors, but the one I'm about to show you today might be the apex of all competitive monitors. So this is the brand new Sony INZONE M10S gaming monitor, and this 27-inch monitor has the most incredible specs on a gaming monitor that I've ever seen. But before I show you all it can do, let's unbox it. Now, one of the cool things about this box, it actually opens like a pizza box. And in the box, you get the warranty card, and Sony released that the M10S monitor warranty has been extended to 3 years, including burn-in coverage. And this is retroactive, so even people who already purchased the M10S are included in this warranty extension. Check out the link down below in the description to learn more about this warranty. And of course, you get a color collaboration card, some really cool INZONE stickers to use wherever you'd like, the power supply and power cable, a DP40 DisplayPort cable, the stand base, which is really small, with a screw on the bottom to attach it to the monitor arm that you can just tie in without using any tools and just using your hand. And once you've screwed the base to the stand, all you have to do is attach it. And attaching it to the monitor is as easy as this. And once it's attached, all you have to do is lift the monitor via the stand without having to touch the OLED screen at all, which is super nice. That way you don't have to worry about fingerprints. One of the mind-blowing things about this monitor is actually the stand. It is extremely low profile and it doesn't take a lot of space on the desk, but it also has a few features that I love, like the preset notches for height adjustment and making it easy for you to remember your preferred height, just in case someone moved your monitor up or down or you accidentally pushed it, then it would be easy to reset it to your favorite position. Another really cool feature is that this stand actually can swivel 180 degrees each side, allowing it to swivel 360 degrees around, which I have never seen a monitor stand being able to do. But honestly, I just can't get over how minimal this stand looks on my desk. It makes it look like the monitor is floating. But if you still prefer to mount your monitor, you'll be able to do that since it's a VESA compatible monitor. And if you decide to use the stand, which I highly recommend, you'll notice another two really cool features, like the fact that the stand base itself is only 4mm thin, which will take a very small footprint on your desk compared to any other monitor stand, allowing you to position your keyboard and mouse freely anywhere on the desk. And lastly, when connecting your cables to the monitor, you get a hole in the stand to route all your cables for a neat cable-free look. On the back of the monitor, you get this minimal and clean design with a very thin OLED panel. The back of the monitor has a multi-layer thermal structure that provides a passive cooler system to keep the monitor from overheating. And for OLED protection, the monitor has multiple features like auto screensaver, where the screen dims after a bit of not being used, pixel and panel refresh that corrects any pixel problems to adjust panel uniformity, and it also dims static image areas on your monitor like taskbars or maps in games. Now, one of the most mind-blowing things about this monitor is actually how thin the panel is. It is 5.9mm thin, which is 30% thinner than my iPhone. And when you put all of these design touches together, you get a really modern and aesthetically pleasing monitor that it would fit on any desk layout. Now, connectivity-wise, on the bottom of the panel, you get a one DisplayPort 2.1 output, which you get a Display 2.1 DP40 cable with it included, two HDMI 2.1 outputs, USB Type-B that can be used to upstream to your PC, two USB Type-A that can be used to downstream from your PC, one USB Type-A that is to be used exclusively for software updates, and of course, a 3.5mm audio jack output. Now, let's talk about this crazy OLED panel. This is a 1440p WOLED panel with 480Hz refresh rate, a 0.03 milliseconds grade-to-grade response time, which is the highest you can currently get at this resolution, with an insane 1300 nit peak brightness with the integrated MLA Plus technology, and it supports 1.07 billion colors since it's a true 10-bit display. Now, you combine all of that with the infinite contrast ratio of 1,500,000 to 1 of the WOLED, you get this incredibly stunning picture with perfect black level. This is one of those monitors that you can put a 360p video on it and somehow it would still make it look good. Now, this was my first time gaming on a 480Hz monitor, and without a doubt, it almost feels like cheating. The best way to describe it, that it feels like I'm actually in the game more than I'm playing the game. Zero delay, unnoticeable lag, it's just perfect, especially with that 0.03 millisecond grade-to-grade response time. Now, obviously, most games won't even get you that many frames, but for competitive shooter games like Valorant, CSGO, or Fortnite, this monitor is it. Now, if 480Hz isn't competitive enough for you, this monitor was actually developed with the Fnatic ESPORTS team, and they added two pro features to make this monitor even more for competitive gamers. The first one is that this monitor has the ability to shrink down the display size to 24.5 inches, which is the standard size in esports gaming. It will drop the resolution from 1440p to 1332p, but still maintain the 480Hz and the 0.03 millisecond response time, which is way better than the 1080p 360Hz TN panel you get in esports. Now, the really cool thing is that you can actually position the 24 inches and a half in the center of the screen or at the bottom of the screen depending on your preference, which is also another neat feature. Now, personally, I still prefer 27 inches size for my monitor just because I feel like it's a sweet spot for casual competitive gaming, but if you compete in esports, then using this feature is a no-brainer to get your eyes used to exactly what you'll be competing on. And the second one is two different modes that you can enable in the settings called FPS Pro Plus and FPS Pro. The FPS Pro Plus tunes the colors around the enemies in FPS games to make them pop more and highlight them, giving you an edge on knowing where your enemy is just a little bit faster. And the FPS Pro mode simulates the colors of an LCD panel that is used in esports, which in my opinion is another way to help esports competitive gamers to actually up their game by giving them the same monitoring experience at home that they get in the arena. Now these two modes in my opinion will for sure give you an advantage in competitive shooters. I mean, we all know that our eyes notice brighter things. More highlighted colors will definitely help you see enemies faster. Now, a huge indicator if a monitor was well thought through is the on-screen display system and the shortcuts that it can provide with just the joystick. Now, since this monitor is very targeted to competitive gamers, this is actually very important. The joystick control on the INZONE M10S is super easy to use. For shortcuts, first it allows you to quickly adjust the brightness or switch the preset mode or even go into that 24.5" mode that I mentioned earlier, which really hones in on how much this monitor is designed for competitive FPS gamers. Now the on-screen display has even more features for gamers, like a black equalizer mode for darker FPS games like Call of Duty or Escape from Tarkov. You also get a frame rate counter so you can actually see what kind of FPS you're getting while you're gaming, a crosshair functionality for games that don't have crosshair, and lastly a timer functionality that can help you manage the length of your gaming session, which is super cool. Now the on-screen display itself is super easy to use and navigate, but they also give you the option to use the INZONE Hub PC software, which gives you full control for tweaking the monitor settings to whatever you'd like them without having to touch the joystick, and allowing you to switch between presets, between colors, between any of the settings that you want with just your mouse. And in my opinion, the ability to be able to do that via software is really cool, especially for competitive gamers or people that like to tweak their settings a lot. This is a lifesaver. So yes, now that we covered everything that the Sony INZONE M10S has to offer, wouldn't you agree that the spec and the features that this monitor provides makes it the best monitor for competitive gamers? Whether it's the insane 480Hz refresh rate or the 0.03 millisecond response time, or maybe it's all the well thought through features that give you the upper hand in competitive shooting games. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the warranty has been extended to 3 years, which gives you peace of mind when investing in a monitor at this price point. All of that put together gives you the perfect gaming monitor in my opinion. If you're interested in learning more about the Sony INZONE M10S, it'll be linked down below in the description, and if you have any questions about the monitor, let me know in the comments. Other than that, thank you Sony for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys for watching it. Bye.